with a GPA of 2.5 will start his master's in information and communication sciences at Ball State University. He was given a graduate assistantship which covers his tuition and also provide him with stipends. So it is not just about the GPA, it is about what you do with what you have. The GPA is very helpful, but there is more to a good application. Now, here is the truth. If you have a low GPA, you can still get good funding to come to the US, but you have to do the right things. You have to put in a lot of work. It's about crafting a statement of purpose that tells your story. It's about building a resume that aligns your academic and career experiences. It's about getting strong recommendation letters. It's about doing an evaluation depending on your situation. It's about taking the GRE depending on your program of interest and your GPA. It's about taking the SAT if you want a full undergraduate scholarship. It's about applying to the right schools based on your background and academic credentials. In my one-on-one visa interview coaching program, I have come across students who told me they applied to schools I recommended and they got full funding to start this fall 2025. One of those students even told me that she went for the visa interview a year ago and she was denied because she didn't have any funding. And so she went through the list I suggested and she applied to two of them or so. And now she has full funding to come to the US. The study abroad process is also about doing the right research, even if it means sleepless nights. It's about starting the process early and submitting your best work. I have a lot of great videos to help you get started on this channel. I like to push students to give their best because funding is very competitive. Any scholarship that is automatic is a small amount. Good funding requires you to submit an application that stands out. For your application to stand out, you have to treat the whole process seriously. I am not here to lie to you or sugarcoat anything so that you will like me. I am here to tell you what works and how to avoid wasting money, energy, and time. I don't want anyone coming to the US and suffering, especially if your family isn't rich. That is why I try to provide you with all the right information to help you get into the opportunity for free mock interviews on my YouTube channel. You just have to be in the Telegram group, and when I request for details, you just have to send the details to me or to my assistant. All right, now it's time for us to kick off today's live session. Drop your questions in the chat, tell me where you're watching this from, and share the live session with a friend who needs this. I will also appreciate it if you give this live session a like. It helps the channel a lot. Oh, my microphone was on mute. Oh, I'm so sorry. So I just realized that my microphone was muted. Okay, I guess I'm going to say everything that I said already. So what I was saying, okay, is that okay. So the first thing was an announcement. Next weekend, we are going to have a live session on the ShaiPod channel. I haven't decided whether it's going to be on Saturday or Sunday because it depends on the guest I'm going to have. Those of you who are familiar with the ShaiPod, you know that the ShaiPod is about talking with other international students, other students who have, you know, studied abroad, right? Who are currently studying abroad or who have studied abroad before, trying to kind of get to hear about their journeys and experiences, right? And this session is going to be very interesting because we are going to discuss a lot of things. Some of the faces you are familiar with them because I've already interviewed them and you actually enjoy those conversations. So you're going to see them again, right? So I'm still finalizing different things, you know, the guests and all of that. And so it depends on when they will be available, whether it will be Saturday or Sunday. If they're available on Saturday, what that means is that there will be a mock interview on Sunday, as usual. If they are not available on Saturday and they are available on Sunday, it means that there wouldn't be any mock interview next Sunday. I will still have students selected. I'll still select students for the mock interview on Sunday, but there is no guarantee that they will be interviewed. Just, you know, so that, but I'm hoping that we can do the live session on the ShaiPod on Saturday so that we can still do the mock interview on Sunday. Okay. So that is the announcement. And then the usual things that I say, if you want to be interviewed, you just have to be in the Telegram group, submit your detail. Okay. So things have changed, right? These days, for different reasons, maybe one day I'll explain, but for different reasons now, I am only requesting for a student I-20s, that a student I-20. That's all I need. Okay, so once you send your I-20, that's all. So yeah, there's a reason for switching to that. And also, just let me know where you're watching this from, the country, your country of nationality or your country of residence, whichever one you want to mention. This is very important. Um, then what else? What else did I say? Um, what? I remember there was something I was going to say. I don't know why I forgot it. Right, I was going to say something. Okay, so this mock interview is just me giving my opinion on the answers. Right, it is easy for me to skip things. It is easy for me to forget to tell a student something, even if I write it down. So if I miss something, please leave it in the chat so that I can read it out to the students. And if you have any question, the chat box is there. Please leave your questions there, and I'll do my best to answer them, as best as possible. So let's get into the mock interview. I'm also streaming on TikTok. So those of you on TikTok, if you have questions, you can leave it there. The thing is that with TikTok, it takes a bit of time for me to get to TikTok because, yeah, and I don't even like responding to messages on TikTok. So the best thing is come on YouTube so that I can read your message. I can even display your message on the screen. I hope I'm able to do that today. All right, I've talked plenty. So right now, let's get into it. Um, so I have Kojo, I have Joseph, I have Justice, I have Joanna, and then I have two justice. No, I'm supposed to have one justice. I don't know why I have two, but we'll find out. If justice, if you are the same person, you wanna get off one of them. You cannot have two devices joining. Okay, that is going to create a lot of echoes, and I don't want that. So yeah. So let's begin with Kojo. Kojo, can you hear me? Hello,
Yeah,
Kojo.
I can. You can hear me.
Okay, yeah, I can hear you. So where are you going?
I'm going to pursue a master's degree in computer science at Western Illinois University. My long-term goal is to develop a KYC as a service platform to um, fully integrate.
Fully integrate
Please, can I
nothing,
start
right?
over? Can I start over again?
We'll come back to that. Who is funding your
Okay.
studies?
My brother, he's the CEO of a water production company, which has been in operation for 10 years with an annual income of XXS amount. He has been sponsoring my education during my secondary school level through to my
Do you work for your
undergraduate
brother?
studies. No, please.
Why? If he has a water company, is it water company or water distribution company?
Water production company,
Water
sorry.
production company. Okay, so if he has that, why don't you work for him?
Okay, actually, I want to build or s- I want to build a startup on my own. That is having a KYC as a service platform that will fully integrate the identities of.
What is your current
Um,
job?
I'm working as a data analyst at um, ABC company,
Okay, what do you do in
where
your job?
I take in invoices and also analyze data and collect data on field, particularly for meter installation types.
You collect data on meter installation.
Yes,
What kind of meter?
the details of retired meters.
Retired.
Yes, retired meters.
What kind
I
of what?
mean,
So what meters? When you say meter, what is the meter measuring? Is it like electricity or what? Water,
electricity.
electricity.
Yes.
And if your brother works, if your brother owns a water company, why don't you? It means that it's the same. You can still do data analysis for your brother, right? Why will your brother sponsor you if you work for another company? Hmm?
Oh, okay. So,
Do you have the same? Do you share the same surname as your brother?
no, please.
So how is he your brother?
Or actually, um, he is my stepbrother. So, that is why.
So he's your step brother. If I ask you a question like this and yeah, I'm just thinking, it's not the case. Okay. Did he get any scholarship?
Okay, actually, it was a scholarship, but it's a 5,000 scholarship.
Okay, you got a scholarship of $5,000. What is your cost of attendance?
Okay, my cost of attendance is $28,950.
28,000. And your brother is sponsoring you. Your water manufacturing water production company, will he be able to make that much to be able to set aside $28,000 just for you, your stepbrother? That doesn't sound. Oh wow, you guys are going to hear some noises because it looks like it's about to rain. Huh. Yeah, it's actually raining. Okay, but I hope the sound is okay. Yeah, your finances doesn't really sound good to me. Why are you working for another company? And yeah, are you going to do your bachelor's or master's in computer science?
My master's in computer science.
Your master's, okay. When did you finish your bachelor's degree?
I finished in 2023.
Okay, and you studied computer science, right?
No, okay, actually, I had my undergraduate studies in economics.
Economics, and you want to do computer science.
Yes.
That probably explains why you didn't get funding because sometimes when you're switching like that, you're competing with people who have computer science background. They are going to have an advantage over you, so getting funding becomes difficult. Why are you switching?
Okay, so actually, the reason why I switched to computer science is because, as I said, I want to build a KYC as a
Why do you
service
want to build
platform.
KYC? Why do you want to build a K? I don't even know what a KYC is, but why do you want to build a KYC?
Okay, so the reason is that many companies struggle with um,
Why is that important to you?
because it's going to solve fraud and also delays in our system.
Why do you want to solve fraud? Why does that matter to you?
Okay, I think
How
um,
did you develop interest in computer science?
okay, I think from after my senior secondary school level, that's where I developed the interest in computer
And
science.
why didn't you study computer science during for your bachelor's degree?
Okay, so the thing was, I had some courses, elective courses in general arts. So it was very difficult for me to enroll in any university because they
You're
were
not proving like
having.
you genuinely wants to study computer science. Nothing shows that you have you done any computer science project before?
Okay,
What makes you
actually,
think you
no.
can survive in the program?
I'm enrolling in an ALX program that is trying to build a solid
What do you know
foundation in
about computer
oriented
science?
practice. Okay, um, I would say having a solid foundation in object-oriented programming and also to be able to
What
build
is
algorithms.
object-oriented programming? What is that about?
Okay, object-oriented programming talks about um, what do you call it talks about data structures data structures and algorithms that could be used in order to
That's
build
not
any
true.
application.
That's not object-oriented programming. Object-oriented programming is about building more like different blocks of code so that you can import them instead of writing everything on the same page. You kind of break them into chunks, and then you can import different aspects. So for example, if you want to build an algorithm that uh maybe that is for driving, you are going to build the car is going to have different components. So one part of the code is going to only uh, only direct, maybe only take care of um how do I even say, only take care of braking. Another aspect is going to take care of speeding. Another aspect is going to take care of different things. So then when you import them, you put them together, and then so that what you are saying about you don't understand the computer science. You are not you've not done anything about computer science for you to want to study this program. So as a visa officer, yeah, the visa officer is not going to ask you all of these things, but I am asking you these questions because whatever you gave me from the beginning wasn't convincing enough. That's why I was asking you this, and you will not get a luxury of follow-up questions like this for you to explain. And so Kojo, you have work to do. I'm not too sure why you want to switch from economics to computer science. Like, if you are in the US, you can do that. I did economics, and I was able to do IT masters, right? But if you're outside the US, that is not easy like that, especially when it's computer science. People with computer science background, they are even struggling to come. You with economics background, you want to so you should probably, I don't know. So when it comes to these things like this, it's very difficult to give an advice to somebody. Anyways, so Kojo, good luck. Okay, do you have any question? Because your story doesn't sound too good to me. Do you have any question?
No, please.
All right, so good luck to you.
Thank you very much.
Joseph, are you here? Joseph, are you there? All right, Justice, yeah, you have two devices. I see two devices. I don't know why. So Justice, you wanna unmute one of the devices, and let's have a conversation. So Justice, can you hear me? Justice, you guys, Joanna, are you there?
Yes, please, I'm here.
Okay, Joanna, where are you going?
I've been admitted to pursue a Bachelor of Science in Nursing at Kentucky State University, a 4-year program beginning this fall. My goal is to become a registered nurse, return to Ghana, and contribute to improving the healthcare, particularly at the Pentecost Hospital, Medina, where I am currently
Hold on, hold on.
volunteering.
Hold on. So you don't want to be giving details, okay? Some people are
Okay.
not comfortable with that, but I just want to tell you this: if you're not comfortable, giving specific details, then that's all. You can just say ABC. That's okay. I like
Okay.
ABC. But if you want to mention them, that's also fine. Okay. So why do you want to why do you want to study this nursing degree?
Okay, I was studying medicine in Ukraine, but due to the war, I had to return to Ghana without completing my education. Even though that experience was very devastating, I didn't give up on my passion for healthcare. Since returning, I've been volunteering at the Pentecost Hospital in Ghana for the past 3 years, assisting doctors and nurses. That experience made me realize how important and impactful the nursing program is,
Why are you not
and it
studying
helped me
medicine again? Why don't you want to study medicine, since that is what you were studying in the Ukraine?
um, because due to the experience I had during my volunteering, I've decided to fully pursue my career in nursing part.
Why? Your
I chose to
experience.
study
What
registered
is it about your
nursing.
experience? What is it about your volunteering experience that is making you want
And
to?
okay, I realized that nursing allows me to make a more direct impact on patients' lives and provides a unique perspective on healthcare.
Medicine doesn't.
Oh, medicine is also a noble profession.
Okay. I'm just trying to be a little unfriendly, like the visa officer, trying to understand what is going on. I didn't even know you
Yeah.
were studying medicine in Ukraine. The other thing with this is you went to Ukraine, you couldn't finish your program, you returned, and it's been 3 years. You've been volunteering. What is going on? These days, one of the things that can make it very difficult for a student to get his or her visa approved is the study gaps. If your study gap is long, then that can actually impact you negatively. So you want to have a good reason. Volunteering doesn't really convince me. Why? Why 3 years? Why have you waited for 3 years? Do you understand me? The thing is that
Yes, please.
the visa interview, it might you could go and then all the things I'm asking you might not come up, right? It's possible they might not come up. You might not, if you go, the thing is you don't know what is coming. Some of the interviews these days, actually, they are very difficult. You see the questions and you're like, wow, so this student was asked all these questions, right? I was talking to somebody today and he was telling me that he has a friend who got a full undergraduate scholarship. Of the cost of attendance is $94,000, but the person had a undergraduate scholarship of $97,000 because the school covers flights and everything, and the person was denied. And so I'm like, how is that? How does that happen like that, right? So you have funding, right? I think you have funding, right? You have some funding.
Yes, I do.
Yeah.
Yes,
So
I do.
yeah, when you have funding, the thing with funding these days is that in the past, right, when you have funding, it's like, oh, smooth sailing. You don't have to worry about anything because you've already proven that you are intelligent with the funding. But now the visa officers are interested in how did you get the funding? Are you really a genuine student? What makes you special? What like, so even when you have funding now, it's not like it's still an advantage, a big advantage, but at the same time, you have to justify yourself. So I think you should find a better reason for why you've waited for 3 years before deciding to study nursing. I am not really convinced if that is really strong. And I'm not even sure why you started your answer by talking about your medicine experience. Maybe you've always been, you know, passionate about healthcare. You went to Ukraine, you wanted to pursue nursing. You couldn't, I don't know. These are not answers that you can just sit down and then you have to sit down and then think about something, better. Okay. So why Kentucky States, right? That's where you are going, right? Why that university?
Okay, I chose Kentucky State because it has a strong nursing program, excellent faculty, and offers hands on clinical training and research opportunities. The university's curriculum is closely
What kind,
aligned with my
what kind of research opportunities?
research opportunities in the nursing career.
What are some of the research opportunities that you are hoping to get?
Okay, it is globally accepted.
That is not a research opportunity. The thing is, sometimes don't mention something that you cannot explain. If you mention research opportunities, what are you say you chose a school because of research opportunities. So what are those research opportunities? The thing is,
Okay, so like the
yeah,
level of education, field of interest, and
you still Joanna, right? You have work to do because uh you are not convincing me enough. Like I told you, these days the visa officers they want a student to be very convincing, right? Very convincing about whatever they say. So if you mention something, if you say, "Oh, I am interested in this," and they ask you, "Okay, tell me about it," and you're not able to explain, then it means you're lying or it means you don't know what you are doing, right? So, Joanna, you have work to do because I am not too sure what you are saying about the why you choose a school. There are so many good reasons. Maybe the lab, maybe the you mentioned hands-on training, which is a good good thing to say. The faculty, I'm not too sure about the faculty stuff because it's not like PhD that you are so concerned about faculty. And undergraduate studies faculty is not anything. Um, you if there is a particular lab, if the lab has a name, you can even mention the name of the lab, that the lab gives students opportunity to practice maybe wound care and all those nursing stuff, like in a real setting, like maybe like you know you have to come up with better reasons. The thing is, students don't spend a lot of time on some of these things. When you go on the school's website, there is a good chance you can get some of this information, this stuff from the school's website. There is a good chance, but students don't spend a lot of time on the school's website. Once they get an offer, that's all they want to go ahead and apply for the visa without even spending time on the school's page. You know. Okay, so tell me about the nursing program. Joanna, are you
please
there?
come again.
Tell me about
Hello.
tell me about the nursing program.
Um, okay, so a nursing program prepares students to become licensed nurses by combining classroom education and laboratory work and clinical experience.
So I didn't say what. Tell me about a nursing. I said the nursing program at the university you are going to. What is the program about? What is the you know what is the program designed to do for students?
Okay, so
I think
to
what you
equip me with
mm,
hello.
yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah, so okay, so my long-term goal is to return to Ghana after completing my studies and contribute to our healthcare system, especially underserved communities. I want to use what I learned to help improve patient care back home in Ghana.
Yeah, the question I asked you was tell me about the program, but you are telling me about your long term goal. So if you say your long term goal is to return to Ghana, does that mean your short term goal is to be in the US after your program?
No.
So then what do you mean by the long term goal is to return to?
Okay, so it will give me the skills, clinical experience, and knowledge I need to become a competent nurse.
Okay. Hmm. Yeah. Are you familiar with my channel? Are
Yes,
you
please.
because I feel like there should be videos to explain some of these things, I think. So that you can work on some of your answers because yeah, spend some time on the
Please, I
channel.
can't hear you.
Oh, what I'm saying is that check my channel. There are some videos that should be able to help you with some of your answers for you to, kind of improve some of your answers. Because I think I've done a lot of videos, visa approvals, visa denials, and all of these things so that you can work on some of your answers. Because I feel like you need to. Okay, tell me about your funding. Who is sponsoring your studies?
Okay, I've been awarded a total scholarship of $14,000 from Kentucky State University, which includes a 5,000 presidential scholarship, 9,000 on-campus scholarship. The remaining balance of 8,532 will be covered by my brother in the person of Mr. A M B, who is a civil engineer and a project manager at the Goldfields Ghana
Don't
Limited.
mention.
He
Okay,
earns
wow. Go on. You said the deficit is going to be covered by your brother, right? Did you say your brother?
Yes, please.
Okay, who works at
Yes, my
uh
biological.
Go Fells? Okay.
Yeah, a civil engineer.
Yeah, that is, given that you have a deficit of 8K and it's your brother, that is good. That, yeah, a civil engineer, a mining company. Yeah, I think that your biological brother, yeah, that is good. That seems like a credible sponsor. Um, okay. Yeah, you can just say you have a deficit of $8,000, which is going to be covered by your brother instead of breaking down the scholarship. Because I feel like what helps you is the cost of attendance being very low, and so you have two small scholarships, but then because your cost of attendance is low, it kind of helps a lot. So you probably wanna, just say what your deficit is and how you are going to cover your deficit. I will go that route, given that the deficit is just small, so like 8,000. So I have a deficit of $8,000, which will be covered by my elder brother who works at Goldfields as a civil engineer. That probably works. Yeah. Yeah. So your funding is probably not an issue. How did you get the scholarship? The scholarships, I guess there are two.
Okay, so I submitted my transcript and I wrote um, some recommendation letters and I also submitted a resume.
You have to check the things you say very well. You said you wrote recommendation letters. Did you write the recommendation letters, or they were submitted on your behalf?
Okay, with my process, someone did it for me.
Somebody did the application process for you, the application stuff for you.
Yes, yes.
That's why. So if a question like this comes up, you would have struggled, and it's like, why will you, somebody who has been to Ukraine before, why will you let somebody apply to a school for you? So you don't know anything about the process, how you applied. If it comes up, how did you apply? Wow. Because recommendation letters are more like third party validation of your skills, your ability to succeed in a program. So yeah, you get professors to submit it for you, not you writing recommendation letters. Okay, so you have to check some of the things you say very well. This mock interview is just for me to get something a little about you and give you my opinion. So you have work to do. Okay, so go and work on some of the things you've been saying, because I'm not too convinced by your academic motivations. If I ask you how did you hear about the school, somebody applied for you. So please go and work on these things. Okay. So good luck to you, Joanna. You have a good fun. You're finding kind of the profile looks good, but you just have work to do on your other stuff. Okay. All right.
I know.
Who is that? So let's go to Joseph. Joseph, are you there?
Yes, please, I'm here.
So where did you go? Where last
I,
school?
yeah, I was trying to turn on the mic, but I had an issue with navigating the whole thing. So
All right. Okay. So what is your current job? What do you do?
I work as a research assistant at XYZ, where I am responsible for teaching and supervising medical students and graduate students. I am also responsible for investigating insecticide resistance in Anopheles mosquitoes using PCR and gel electrophoresis.
Okay. What is your highest academic qualification?
I completed a master's degree from XYZ University. I am yet to graduate from this program.
Okay. The reason I'm asking you this is because you said you supervise medical students. Is that the case? Do you supervise medical students with their research or something? Do you do that?
Yes, I do that in the lab. So they come to the lab and then we have lab sessions for them.
Okay. You have to be, because yeah, the thing about the visa interview is that nobody wants you to try to deceive them. So you say it as it is. I keep telling students, so don't say you are working with a prof when you know that is not the case, or don't say you went through an interview if you know you didn't go through an interview. Like somebody, student don't listen. Somebody said he went through an interview. They asked him who are the people that who interviewed him. The person had good fun. They asked him who are the people who interviewed him. He struggled, and then managed to say he mentioned some names, and he was denied. Meanwhile, according to him, he was almost approved, and that was that last question. So meanwhile, it is okay to say that you submitted an application which included your ABCD, and when you were offered admission, the admission automatically came with the funding, and that the funding was based on the strength of your application. There's nothing wrong with this, but students will see transcript of somebody saying they went through an interview. They also want to say they went through an interview, even though they didn't go through an interview. If they ask you how was the interview like, and you didn't go through an interview, and you don't know how to describe the scene and the link and everything, and they deny you, you say that the visa officer is wicked. Meanwhile, it's you didn't. So I always tell students, say it as it is, because if you say it as it is, there is no room for you to struggle to answer. Anyways,
Okay.
so where are you going?
I am going to the US, specifically University of XYZ, to study a fully funded PhD program in entomology. I will be working with XYZ to investigate how early life conditions in Anopheles mosquitoes and Aedes mosquitoes influence their life trace and how this can affect disease transmission. This program would enable me to uh, this program would qualify me to take up a faculty position when I return to ABC University to continue to teach and supervise medical students as a principal investigator.
Okay. Um, yeah, I think, as much as we wanna express our ties, I think students get this ties thing wrong. Maybe I have also gotten it wrong in the past, but when I think about some of these things very well, I'm thinking students should focus more on why they really want to study the program, instead of just quickly saying they want to return. Sorry, instead of quickly wanting to say they want to return, because it's like, yeah, we know everybody wants to return, so it's like, yeah, but what makes you think you really want to return? What are you actually bringing back? So if you spend a lot of time on what you are bringing back, and kind of focus on, if there is something, maybe something specific that you are really interested in, that kind of makes you sound like you're actually going to return, right? Than So let's say I work in a company, and instead of me saying I'll return to this company to take up a higher role as ABC, I can actually say the program is going to equip me with ABC, which will enable me to develop ABC solution to combat or to solve ABC in my current company. And by doing this, I'll be able to, like, that kind of sounds more reasonable and more truthful, that okay, than just saying it's not like the position is waiting for you to take up when you come back, right? If you think about it very well.
Okay.
So let's dig into your answer a little bit. So when I ask you where are you going, the thing is that everybody knows you are the embassy to go to try to go to the US. You are going to the US. So this answer that I'm going to the US too, I'm going to the US. No, everybody knows you're going to the US. Go straight to the point. I'm going to ABC University in, you can even mention the city. I think it's even better because some of the business they will even ask you where is the school. Do you know where the school is? So I'm going to ABC University in XYZ to study a master's or pursue a master's in ABC. Then you can, give a little bit about your background, that maybe you work as this. And today I was telling somebody that when you give the first line, don't quickly, which is something a lot of students they do. So for example, I'm going to ABC University to pursue a master's degree in XYZ, with a concentration in this program is going to, no, don't quickly go to the next line as this program. Just give yourself like 2 seconds. If the research wants you to continue, you can see it. So at, with a concentration in XYZ, this program, so you pause slightly, like for a few 1 or 2 seconds, then you can continue. So that it's not like you are reading from a transcript from something that you've prepared, right? It's like, okay, normal conversation, right? You are flowing naturally. I was thinking maybe that's probably better. Okay, so you said you are going to work with Professor XYZ to study mosquitoes and all those things. So is it true that you are going to work with that professor?
Yes, please. So in my application, I emailed him through call emails, and then when he interviewed me, and then he encouraged me to apply to the university, so he would be my supervisor for the
Did he
program.
did he tell you categorically that he's going to be your advisor? Did he tell you that? Okay,
Yes,
okay.
yes. So like in that particular school, that's how the program is arranged. You need to get a supervisor first before you go ahead to apply.
Joseph, what is going on? Do you have somebody there monitoring as well, or what? Like, what's going on? Okay, so in that case, I'll probably say I have been accepted by Professor ABC in his lab to work on ABC research or something, research on this, which aligns with my goal of returning to Ghana to investigate ABCD, and also this, but you know, this will also enable me to take up a role at, because you're not just saying you are taking up a role, but you are bringing up something that aligns with what you are interested in. You're kind of more like your research interest, and you want to return and do a research on that. At the same time, that is going to help you take up a faculty role, right, in your
Okay,
current institution. I feel like that sounds more believable, and more
okay.
convincing in a way. Okay, so how did you hear about the university?
So wo- uh, I heard about this university through the Entomological Society Association uh, website, where my current master's supervisor is a collaborator with uh, Professor XYZ, who's also a member of this association. So during a conference meeting, he encouraged me to apply to Professor XYZ and work with him.
So your supervisor encouraged you to apply, and you just went ahead and applied because your supervisor has asked you to apply. Is that what happened? Is that what you are saying? That doesn't mean that means that you want to do the program because your supervisor has said so. That is not a convincing thing to say. You could have just said that your supervisor introduced you to the entomological society, and when you went on the website, you came across Professor whatever's work on mosquitoes or something, and so you checked on the school, his current school. You discovered that the school has a program on this, and which aligns with your interest in using ABC skills to do ABC in Ghana. And yeah, are you a Ghanaian?
Yes, please.
Okay, so yeah, and so yeah, so more like yeah, there is nothing wrong with a professor recommending a school to you, but you always want to say you did your research and then you discovered ABC, and that is which aligns with your career goal of being ABC or doing ABC in Ghana, and that is why you went ahead and applied to the school. So that it's like, yes, you got a recommendation, but then you did your own research and you discovered that it is, you know, in alignment with what you are interested in as an individual, not that the professor encouraged you to apply and you went ahead and apply. Does that make sense?
Okay.
How many schools did you apply to?
I applied to four schools, but I was admitted into two schools, ABC University and XYZ University. But I chose to attend XYZ University because they have a leading social mobility character, and their core values of integrity, community, and uh, accountability aligns with my personal values. Again, the esteemed entomology program at XYZ University ranks second globally, which makes them uh, they which shows that they are committed to student success. The writing center resources and their unique programming resources provide students with one-to-one consultations, which would enable me to develop my professional goals of becoming a medical entomologist.
Okay, so the thing is, if you wanna compare schools, you have to compare them based on something that distinguishes the two schools, right? So um you got admission into two schools. You decided to go with one, which means you are choosing one over the other. First of all, I will not even say I was admitted into two of them unless I am asked. I'll just say I applied to four schools. Then I'll mention their names, and then you can say you are going to ABC University because of the you can give good reasons. Maybe because it is ranked number two worldwide or globally, whichever one, where do you want to use. Then you can add certain things. Maybe maybe you are interested in ABC, and they have faculty who work on those things. Like, it's about a program. That's the thing. If you tell me core values, every university has core values of whatever everything you said. Every university, you mentioned integrity. Every university has core values, so that is not really one reason why you choose one program over the other. You choose one program over the other because of something significant, something that actually separates the two schools. You said they are committed to student success. Every school is committed to student success. You mentioned writing center, right? Every school has a writing center, to help students with their writing and all of that. But you want to focus on the program itself. Maybe because of your area of specialization, maybe the entomology is a big thing, but maybe it's the subset of it. You know, you want to come up with something stronger. Okay, core values, yeah, maybe it can work, but I don't know. There are certain things. So there is a good answer, there is a great answer, and then there is okay answer. Okay, there is also a bad answer. I don't know if I should say this is okay, because it's not okay. You want to show that you are actually coming to do PhD, you are genuinely interested in the program. You found out something strong about the program, and that made you want to do the program, not those small reasons, right? They are not really strong enough. Do you have any relative in the US?
I don't have any relatives in the US.
Do you have any deficit? You said you don't have any deficits, right?
Yes, please.
Okay, so why not study the program in Ghana?
The entomology program at UCR has a special focus on mosquito ecology and their bionomics, which is different from the PhD program in entomology offered by the
Hold on.
universities.
I don't know. Let me just be sure. I asked you why the US, right?
Yeah,
Okay. Can you say that again? TikTok distracted me. You have a coach, right? A coach is giving you answers. He's telling you to
No,
say this and that. You have a coach.
no, no, please. So please, can I ask the question again?
I said, why the US and not Ghana?
The US, because the United States has world-class universities with um, advanced cutting-edge research, which provides students with unique training that would enable me to gain special skills in spatial modeling and computational R approaches to be able to develop innovative tools to help me um, develop solutions to prevent and reduce mosquito-borne diseases.
Okay, so think about the question as why do you think studying the program in the US gives you an advantage over
Okay.
studying the program anywhere else in the world? That is how you should think about it.
All right.
Because what you are saying, yeah, sometimes you know is this thing that they say, to whom more is given, more is expected, right? So it's like more is expected of you. You should answer the question like somebody who is, like very clear about, like very sure about why he wants to study the program. So like make your answers. Maybe these answers, maybe they can work, but they're not. They don't. I don't feel like they are strong enough. So how did you get the funding?
I submitted a competitive application through the graduate application portal, which included my CV, personal statement, statement of purpose, and three letters of recommendation, alongside with my undergraduate and master's transcript with an impressive GPA of 3.5. I was invited for an interview with three faculty members, and I was awarded a scholarship for this program.
I remember earlier you said that you reached out to a faculty. The faculty, the way the program works is that you are giving a faculty and all of that. So why didn't that come up in how you got the funding? Because you got the funding because of the faculty. So if I'm a visa officer, you ask me, if I ask you and then you tell me that earlier, and then now I ask you how did you get the funding, then you don't mention that. I'm thinking why? Does that make sense? Because
Yes.
if that is part of your story, then it has to be your story. So maybe before you applied, you can, the thing about the visa officers is that if you are making sense, they'll give you time to talk. I think most of them, they'll give you time to talk. The thing is
Okay.
that if you start and then you don't know what you are saying, then they will move on to the next thing. Or if you say something and then it's already good enough, then yeah, they will interrupt you. But most of the time, if you don't know what you are saying, then they don't even want to listen to you because they have a lot of other students that they have to interview. So um check some of these things very well. Okay. But I mean, it's not really, your answers are not bad like that. But like I said earlier, you have to, the visa interview these days, if you have funding, they want to make sure you actually did the work. You put in a lot of work, and you know why you want to study the program. So that is where you have to make sure you craft your story very well. Hit the strong point first, because you don't want to start with a weak point. Once you start with the weak points, the visa officer will cut in and then conclude that you don't know what you are doing. But when you start with a strong point, yes, yeah, that one, even if the visuals are cutting, it's like, yes, I've heard enough, like something good enough already, right? So
Okay.
are you the other justice trying to join? Can you hear me? Are you the other justice trying to join?
No, please. I'm not Justice. I think Justice is a different person.
Oh, you are Joseph. Oh, okay. What was I even thinking? I thought I was speaking with, okay. All right, Justice, can you hear me? There is Justice on the screen, and there is another Justice trying to join. I want to make sure. Justice, can you hear me? I've been telling Justice to join with one device. I have no idea why. Justice, can you hear me? If you cannot hear me on this, it means there is a problem with it. Go off this one and try to join with the other one. Simple thing. Justice is not listening to me. Justice. I see two justices. I don't know because I know there are two ladies and three guys. I've interviewed two guys, so there's one more guy, which is justice, and I'm seeing two justices. So it's like, what's going on? And you've not left, anyways. Justice. So if you can hear me, you have two device. I see one device already. You want to get off that one and then try to join with the other one. So yeah, Joseph. So good luck to you. Okay.
All right, thank
Good
you.
luck to you. Yeah, no problem. Let's go into the chat. Sandra. So Sandra is the one who has not been able to join, I think. So Sandra, if you cannot, I mean, I don't know if you are in the chat or something, but Sandra, if you are struggling, it means you want to switch from your computer to your phone. Sometimes, depend on your internet, the computer might not help. So you want to switch from computer to the phone. For the phone, it will work. So long as you're able to download the app, the phone will work. But the computer, yeah, depending on the network, it might not work. Okay. So Sandra, if you can hear this, did I interview Sandra or Joanna? I think I interviewed Joanna. So Sandra is the one I'm referring to. Okay. All right, let's get into the chat and see what we have today. I hope I'm able to. Okay, so I have Mary from Ghana, Adefila. Okay, so this is when you guys couldn't hear me. As he says, hi Shai, watching from Ghana. If one did not add some of their social media handles on their DX160 and the interviews next week, should we deactivate them or just leave them and make them public? So with the DX160, if you submit it 2 business days, not just 2 days, 2 business days before your interview, I think you'll be fine. Because I think Roots submitted it 2 or 3 days before the interview. And at the interview, I think she was approved though, but I think I don't know if it was 3 days or so when she submitted. So there was the processing delayed slightly. They were able to pull up her information and interview her. So the visa also told her next time. I don't know why the visa also said next time, but the visa also said next time you have to do it, submit it quickly, right? So in order not to, because the social media thing now it's a big deal. So maybe you just wanna create a new one, let them update it. If you have 1 week is long enough for them to be able to update it for it to reflect. I don't think you need 2 weeks. Okay, so that is what I'll probably say. Because the US, one thing that US embassy doesn't like is to lie, right? So if you have 10 and then I say I have 5, then it's like, why did you lie, right? So that is something you want to check. Chase says, good evening. Okay, yeah. It's just funny. I just didn't pay attention to that. Okay, so all of you, yeah, thanks for bringing this to my attention. Okay. Then Becky also said the same thing. And then, okay. Okay, so yeah, you guys were trying to let me know, and I wasn't reading the chat, so I didn't know this was going on, and I kept on talking. Ian says, okay, from Zimbabwe. Okay, okay. Omeni is here. So Justice, I'm just confused. Justice is trying to still join. Let me finish with the chat. I'll add him and see. Maybe there's a reason why this is. Maybe is So I'll add him and see. Ruben from Nigeria. Inyeko from Uganda. Okay. I think now at this point you guys could hear me. May Sarah says, can I have your contact number? The problem is that if I give out my contact number like that, I'll wake up and then I'll have 50 messages. How do I respond? It's not possible. The things that so many things are going on in my life. It's not possible to give out my contact, right? But if you have any question, I'm always happy to answer your questions for you here. Okay. Anytime you have a question. If you want a private conversation, then you just have to book a consultation, which is at a discounted price. Like if you think about it, the opportunity cost of my time is way more than that amount. So if it's something pressing, if it's something private, then yes, for me to put a lot of things on the side and then talk to you privately, then you just have to pay for it. It's very simple. But if you have any question, feel free, ask me. I'm always happy to answer your questions for you. Isa says actually, you guys, you guys are making me feel like all the hairstyles that I've had were not good. So now, yeah, some more. So okay. Fidelia says, Sha, you're looking like a girl today. You are looking more handsome today. Hey, so if you look like a girl, it means you're handsome. Hey, okay. So that's how it is saying. Fidelia. So okay. Inga from Cameroon. Sheun says, is it possible to get an I-20 at Webster University? If you ask a question like this, I don't even understand it. It means you don't know what you are doing. So, Sheun, you have to go on my channel. There are a lot of videos. Go and learn everything. Because if you ask questions like this, you just don't know anything about the study abroad process. Davis says, okay, Davis, have already explained how to be interviewed. Okay, it's the same thing that I always say. Hashim, more fire, more fire. Head says, how can I do? So mock interviews, I've already told you guys. Yako says, what a serious mock interview. Um, I don't know. I guess I appear too serious. Like I'm trying to be like a visa, so like the real thing, right? Trying to be unfriendly. I'm friendly, but sometimes when it comes to this, you have to be unfriendly. You're not playing at all. uh Konwani says, I'm watching from Senegal, but I'm Zambian. Oh, okay. Oh, nice. Sam says, Shai, I can't join in the call. I've attended many of your sessions and want to join with a call. Sam, I'm not too sure what you mean, but I don't know. I can't add myself in the WhatsApp group. I don't know what you mean. Will someone help me by providing chance for me to talk to Shai? I don't know what you want. I've already explained this, right? So yeah, if you have questions, just ask me. I'm going to answer your questions. Okay. Siniola says, Shai, how best can one explain if you have been denied before on the DX160? It depends on why you were denied and all of that, what has changed. I have videos on YouTube where people have been denied and they explain themselves. And on the ShaiPod, I have several students that I've interviewed, right, who were denied and they gave, they went again. There are like 4 students who were denied the visa before, and they were eventually approved. So you can check those on the ShaiPod. Okay. How can you do mock today? The thing is that there were several people who submitted their details. I think like 15 students, and only 5 were selected. So just think about it. Those people. So it tells you how difficult it is, right? Sam says, "Shall I add me in the group? I want to be in the call." I don't know what you mean. It doesn't work like that. If you want to join the WhatsApp group, there is a link in the description of all my videos. Once you click on the link, it will take you to all the groups, the WhatsApp groups, Telegram groups. So Katri says, I love your feedbacks, frank and straight to the point. Yeah. Justice says, I'm still trying to join. So Justice, you are already here, so that's why I'm confused. You've already joined, so you just have to get off uh and then try to join, right? Ruben says, okay, yeah, Lenny, that's good. Good to have you here. Maxwell says, Shai, can I get the link to your mock interview? I'm not too sure what you mean by the link to my mock interview. What we are doing is mock interview. I don't know if you mean private mock interview or something. Then you check the description. There is a link which will lead you to all the links. Okay. Or even when you check the description of all my videos, you are going to see, how to. Justice says, I'm trying to join again. I don't know which other device is connected. So Justice, there are 2 devices here, so that's why I'm confused. How come you, you have 2 devices? You don't know which one? Justice, what's going on? Okay, so Mamuna says, I'm from Pakistan. I have 4.5 years gap after bachelor's degree when I graduated in 2019. My current MS is 1 year completed. I will provide justification as parental pressure and provided home tuition. So yeah, it's just difficult for me to tell you anything because I would have to get into it. Like, what have you been doing? Like, from when did you complete your MS? Like all these things. It's not. Yeah, some of these things. It's not. Students want your opinion, but the thing is that opinions a lot of time require good information. If you don't have good information and then you try to give opinion, you give bad advice, and the person will blame you, right? So I am very careful when it comes to some of these things. I need to have good information. And you can also check a lot of my videos. I always give a lot of opinion on, like, information on certain things. So then you can make conclusions on that. TikTok is telling me to verify something and I feel like I'm doing the right thing and it's still telling me I'm not doing the right thing. So Maurinho says, please, when should you submit your DX1C and also pay service fee before the interview date? All these things, there are things I've talked about. The DX1C form, submit it as soon as possible, as early as possible. Service fee, pay it as early as possible. So I have videos on all these things. So, and these things are not things that I can just explain once 30 seconds or something. If you want good explanations about everything, check my YouTube channel. Students don't check YouTube channels for videos. They just want to get quick answers. And sometimes you get the answer you want, but then there are still gaps and then you don't know what to do. So when you want to get all the information, go on YouTube. I try to take feedback from students and make all the videos that they need so that they don't need to talk to me. Everything you need is on the channel. That's my goal all the time, right? Some students, they will reach out to me, and then they will tell me, they will ask me, they will ask me how can they study abroad, or uh how did you do it? Like questions like this. I'm like, you guys, that's not how it works. If you want help, do the thing yourself. Once you do the work yourself, somebody can, if you come to me that you have a question about this, you are very clear about this, and I see that you've done some work already, yes, I'm going to answer you. But so then they don't do anything. All they want is help me. Meanwhile, you don't know that 50 people have asked me for the same thing. I just don't understand. Like, the process, if you want to come, you come because you know that you have to put in the work and you put in the right work. But yeah, Emmanuel says, Mr. Handsome, shy, hey, fresh hour, hey. Okay, handsome, but nothing I get. um, I need to find a girlfriend, right? Mary says, please, I want to go to Burkina Faso for my interview. Please, will I pay my MRV in Ghana? Burkina Faso, I don't know how it works. So if you are in groups, you can ask people about some of these things. I don't know how it works. You can, when you try to go through the process, you will know what to do. That's the thing. If you I don't even know if Burkina Faso is part of the AVIT. I think it's probably part of the AVIT, right? They've migrated onto the AVIT. So all you have to do is create a DX1C form, choose Burkina as your interview location, go into the AVIT, go through the process, select Burkina Faso. When you do that, you get to the end, it will tell you what to do. Students don't do anything. They just wanna ask questions, too many questions, instead of them doing the work. When you get to the end, it will tell you whether you have to pay at a bank or you have to pay at the embassy. They will tell you. Well, just start it. Once you start, there is a quote that once you start the journey, you start embarking on the journey, the way becomes clear. So sometimes if you want to embark on a journey, you don't know which direction the path is going to take you. But as soon as you start walking, you will know where it leads, and then you can keep going. So yeah, don't just want to know the end. Go through the process, and the process will tell you what to do, and will lead you to the end. And then yeah, so please go through the process. You know what to do. Also, be in groups and ask questions. There are a lot of people who have done that, and they'll be able to give you, the answers that you're looking for. Becky says, please, in my I-20 form, it's showing personal fund, but I took Empower loan for funding. So I don't know what do you mean by you took loan and it's personal fund. So if you knew you were going for a loan, how come you went with? How come you submitted documents showing personal funds? If the visa officer asks you and then you say you are using a loan, if you are not able to explain yourself very well, it's that alone can cause your visa to be denied because like you don't know what you are doing, right? It's like, what are you using? Are you using personal funds? The personal funds that you used to get the I-20, was it fake? And the embassy doesn't like anything like fake things, right? So yeah, you just know you can also reach out to the school and then let them know how you are funding your studies and let them capture that. Some schools will do it so that they will capture your true source of funds on the I-20 and they use that for the interview. Okay, everybody knows I don't recommend Empower, but yeah, everybody's life is different, and I hope everything works out well for you. So, Justice, can you hear me? You have two devices here, and I hope I
Hi,
can
Shai,
hear you.
can you hear me?
Yeah, okay, Justice, finally. So,
Yeah, sorry
so you're
about that.
saying that, yeah, so you're saying that the other device you have no knowledge about that. Is that what you're saying?
No, yes, I don't know where it's connected from.
Hey, that's strange.
I, I don't know if it's a glitch or something, but
How can that be a glitch? How can the glitch type Justice there as the name, not any other name like
no,
Francis
I
or
joined earlier, so I don't know if that was
it's
the
still
interruption.
okay, well.
Yeah,
All right, good to have you. So, what are you going to study?
I'm going to study management science and quantitative methods with a concentration in accounting analytics.
Why? Why this program?
I chose this program because of what I do currently. I currently work as an accounts and payroll administrator, and I'm looking forward to advance in my skills, in the skills of accounting. And this program would offer me the skill I need. The analytical aspect of this skill, the analytical aspect of this program will endow me with the data analytics skills, data visualization, and also give me the skill in to be able to use data to forecast and also financial advice.
Hmm. Yeah, you can probably say this program will introduce you to data analytics and data forecasting and those things that you were saying. But I'm just saying, just make it look okay. Yeah, it's going to introduce you to those things which you currently don't have in your current role, and that is why you want to pursue the program because you always want to make sure there is something that you are going to get from the program which you currently don't have. Because if you have it, then why pursue the program, right? If you think about it. So, okay, I think your answer sounded good to me actually. It aligns with what you currently do. Who is funding your studies?
Yes, I've been awarded a scholarship of $23,010, the Elizabeth Reed Scholarship, and also I have a graduate assistantship of $7,000, and the deficit of 12,636 will be covered by my uncle, who is currently the manager of A&B Buildings Solutions, and also the manager of properties, A&B Properties. He will be funding my education. He has been funding my education since the early retirement of my dad.
Do you work for him?
No, I don't work for him,
Okay, so
but he
why
believes in he believes in higher education and also
so
believes in my
you work for another company, yet your uncle, meanwhile your uncle could actually make use of your skills. So why are you not working for your uncle instead? Or these are not,
yeah,
some of the questions that I ask, they may not be asked. It might not come up, especially given that you have funding. So it's like the resource doesn't have a lot of time to dig into that. But sometimes they might dig into some of these things. And when they dig into these things and then you are not prepared for them, then that is automatic denial, right? So sometimes, yeah, the interview can be very simple, can also be very complicated. And somebody who has spent so much money on the visa application process, over $500 with that kind of good funding, you wanna prepare yourself very well, like kind of cover
yes,
everything. Even if you go and then it's easy for you, fine. Then yeah, yeah, then it's better than being underprepared, right? So
right, yeah.
okay, how did you get the funding?
So with the scholarship, I submitted a comprehensive application, which included an essay, which had to talk about my community experience and my community field, and also a recommendation letter from my supervisor. With the graduate assistantship, I was recommended for that position by Dr. Philip Gibson of the associate. He's the associate dean of the College of Business and Technology.
You said you are specializing in something. Why did you choose that area of specialization?
Yeah, so I chose to specialize in the field of analytics because I currently work as a payroll account and a payroll administrator or officer, and I'm looking forward to be able to advise on financial risks pertaining to my current organization, and also improve on the financial to be able to use data to give informed decision on financial risks of my organization, the organization I currently work.
It's good that you corrected that because that's what I was going to ask you. How are you going to give advice on financial risk and stuff? But when you mentioned use data, yeah, data, yeah, then I was like, okay, you've done the right thing now. Okay, then that's okay. Okay, so do you know um how many do you know some of the courses you are going to take in your first semester?
Yes, I do. Uh, So my first semester, I'll be taking advanced accounting reporting, data application of data visualization, and then business analytics.
How did you hear about the school?
So I hopped on the school's website through Google. I came across the school's website through an advert on Google, and while I was searching for my schools, I came across an advert on Google, and I joined their information session, which was organized by the graduate recruiter Hannah Gibson Hobson, sorry, Hannah Hobson, who introduced me to the program and in turn connected me to Dr. Philip Gibson, who spoke further about the program and about what the curriculum entails and the knowledge I would gain looking at the skills I want to attain from this program.
Did you talk to those people?
Yes, I did. I did speak to them.
Yeah, because yeah, if you didn't fine. If you didn't, yeah, there's nothing there. You don't. I got my fundings without, except the one I got when I was at Ohio University, because that one I applied very late. I didn't know what I was doing with my life, and that I mean my second master's. I didn't know what I was doing, and so so I had to go to the office and speak with the coordinator myself before I got into the program. He gave me the permission to apply, and then I got the tuition waiver. So yeah, that's why I asked you. The thing is, yeah, you can go on the school's website and you're going to find every information you need without sending an email to anybody, right? So you you can go that route. Or there is nothing wrong with reaching out to the professor and then asking about the program or sending emails. All those things are also there, so that's fine. At the interview, there are certain mistakes that when a student makes, they don't matter. They are not really a problem. Like you were saying, Hickson, Hobson, or something where that is not something that is really going to count against it, because yeah, it's like names of people, and sometimes some of these things, yeah, it's not like big enough. It's not like a big deal for your visa to be denied or something, right? So, but yeah. Um. So, how many schools did you apply to?
I applied to three schools, namely Riders University, Georgia Southern University, and then Winthrop University. I chose Winthrop University because of its unique curriculum, which includes courses in advanced accounting analytics, courses in business analytics, and Winthrop also strong ties with the regional business community in Carolina, and the partnership they bring on board during the capstone project, where it introduced students to data analytics, data visualization, tax filing, and then forecasting as well. And through this capstone project, students are introduced to industry tools, which gives them hands-on experiences such as Python, Tableau, Power BI, and these tools would um, help students in giving out
Yeah, I don't know. I'll probably start with the like focus on the capstone project, which is going to give you the practical skills in, you know, using like applying the skills you learn in the classroom to, forecast, analyze, predict, like, or predict and forecast, like
Mhm.
visualize, stuff. Like, I will probably focus on the capstone project as the main reason why I'm
Yeah.
choosing that program. The maybe the uniqueness of the capstone project. Uh, maybe a lot of people, they like to say courses, which is not too bad, but sometimes, if you start with a capstone, it's like, okay, well, the capstone project. You mentioned the center or something, that together kind of helps a lot. So, what do you know about the school?
So I know Winthrop University is in Rock Hill, which is the city, Rock Hill City, and Winthrop is also in South Carolina. Their current president is Dr. Edward Shen,
Do you have any
who was
relative
appointed.
in the US?
No, please, I have no relative in the
What are your
US.
plans after your studies?
Um, After my studies, I'll be returning to Ghana to pick up the role as a payroll analyst in my current organization, where they are currently, where I currently work as a payroll officer, and I'm looking to climb the ladder to attain the position of an analyst to help with using data to um to
To do not
returning back to my
to
country.
use data to do nothing.
No, I try to I try to get the actual word. Earlier I said um the whole data thing I made, so I was trying to for my
Okay. So you are returning to pick up a role as a payroll what?
analyst.
So the role is waiting for you to pick it up, right? Nobody is
So
occupying that seat.
so
So
kindly so the role is not um the company is rapidly increasing, and then the kind of role that is available is a data analyst role. But then I'm looking at the fact that they'll be introducing a payroll analyst role in the future.
so so you don't know whether they will introduce it or not. You are just hoping that they will introduce it.
Yeah, I'm hoping.
There's no guarantee. So which means that if they don't introduce it, you're not returning to Ghana.
I'll be returning.
You will not return.
Oh, I'll be returning. I'll be returning.
What makes you think you will return? Because the role you wanna take up, if it's not available, then why will you return? You are going to just stay in the US and look for a
Oh
job.
no. So even with what I'm doing now, I'm trying to link it to the data analyst, payroll analyst role. But then the data analyst role is available. So I'm just trying to put those two together. I
So
don't know.
so I think it is better for students to focus on what they are the skills they are going to learn, and how that is going to, maybe if it's possible for you to use those things to solve something in your current company, and then you can add that will enable you to take up a higher role as this, so that it's like you are bringing something on board which will
Okay.
make it possible for you to, it might sound like the same, but they are not the same.
Yeah.
They, in the mind, one makes you look credible and very clear about what will make you return. So because like you're not just coming to the US, get a degree and return, and then take up a role as if the role is waiting for you. No, but you're making it look like you are coming to learn, and you're coming to acquire certain skills, and you can be very clear about those particular things that you're going to gain, those skills you're going to gain, and that will enable you to, maybe if there is part of the organization that you can actually contribute to, then you can say that, and then you can say that will enable you to take up a high role in the company as this, that can actually help. Does that make
Yes,
sense?
please. Yeah, it
So
does.
yeah, so I think you are very your answers are very good to me in a way. I think yeah. So yeah, your funding also taken care of. Looks like you did the application yourself. You know what goes on, how you got the funding. Like, I think yeah. Okay. The other thing I wanted to say, I don't know what I can say about this, but the thing is, your uncle is sponsoring you, and you're coming back to work in another company. Won't your uncle need your services in a way?
Yeah.
This might not come up, but I'm just thinking. If it comes up, will you would be prepared to answer it in a good way? So something to think about. Okay,
Yes,
so
please.
yeah, so I hope it doesn't come up, but if it comes up, yeah, you want to find a way to think about that very well. Maybe you can consult for your uncle. I don't know if that is also good enough, but anyways,
Yes.
so good luck to you. Okay.
Thank you, Shai. Thank you very
Yeah.
much.
Yeah. No problem. So I think there's one more person that I will interviewed, Sandra. Anyways, let's get into the chat quickly. Um, so Jennifer says I'm looking good. When a girl tells you you're looking good, yeah, then since you're looking good, that's good. So when I hear the girls telling you I'm looking good, I'm like, oh wow, nice, nice. Sometimes when I'm saying this, I'm just playing it, but people will read too many meanings into them, right? Maxwell says I have paid for my visa fee, but due to unavailability of visa appointment dates in Ghana, I've you have to hold on paying the service. Will that be an issue? The service fee, you can pay it whenever you are ready for the interview. If you use Western Union, as soon as you make the payment will reflect the same day. If you have to post it, then that takes time. It also depends on where you are posting it from. So that's the thing. If you can get somebody to pay using Western Union, then that will be the same day. So then, even if your interview is tomorrow, you can get it paid today and then go for the interview tomorrow. So these are not straightforward. It depends. Um, Aporo says, hi, I submitted a sponsor and it's reflected on my I-20. Is it safe to add my personal savings during the interview as it's not reflected on my I-20? So who is your sponsor? That's the question. It depends on who the sponsor is. Some of this is it's not, yeah, if the sponsor is your brother or your mother or something, yes, then there is no problem, right? So but if it's an uncle and then you're now contradicting yourself with the personal savings, then it's like if you had a personal savings, why didn't you present the personal savings, right? What is going on? And with some of these things, if you have a good explanation, yes, that will work. So Maxwell says, how do you explain to the visa when you are a student, when you are on student loan for financing your tuition? I think I used to have videos, but I deleted them. Other people have videos on that. I cannot. The thing is, I don't recommend it. If you want to go, then you can tell the visa officer that, officer, this is the only way I can finance my education. I mean, you can, yeah, you can. With the loan thing, you just describe your payment plan, how you intend to pay the loan, right? The interest while you are in school and the principal. You have to be very clear about how the program will actually make it possible for you to pay the loan. If you're clear about that, then yeah, loan is a way of financing education. So yeah, there isn't any big deal. The only thing is my thing about the loan is the interest. It's just students have no idea how dangerous it is and how huge the interest is going to be and how difficult it's going to be to repay. And so that is my own thing. But how can we say? What can I say? Hey, Nikia says a nice haircut. So when it's from the ladies, like yes, I'm like yes. Let them come. Let them. So Davis, I don't know what Davis sent, but I can't see it. Approach says your elder brother. Okay, well, yeah, if your elder brother is sponsoring you and is credible, then you want to stick with him. You don't want to change it because yeah, if he's already credible, if he's your biological elder brother, then yeah, because you don't want to be changing too many things like that. You can change things if you have a good explanation, but you don't want to be changing too many things. So today has been very good. It's been a long what do I say, a long live session, and I appreciate all of you for your time. Before you leave, make sure you give it a like. Okay, when you give it a like, it helps the channel a lot. So I think I'm going to end it here. Thanks so much.